Thank you for joining us for this look at some of the best stories from KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Coming up, his arrest outside of an immigration court went viral, and now he is free. Hear from the Afghan interpreter and the local veterans who are supporting him. A new financial challenge for road safety in East County. The Trump administration is revoking a grant, claiming it's hostile to motor vehicles. And the Right to Dream Soccer Academy is up and running. See how San Diego FC created an all-inclusive environment for future pros. We start with a debate over where to build new homes. A decision made this week advances a project near Escondido known as Harmony Grove. It will help the region make progress toward its housing goals. But Alexander Nguyen talked with some residents who say it comes with a safety risk, particularly during wildfires.
You can choose to honor the lessons of Paradise, Camp, Tubbs, Carr, Dixie, North Complex, Palisades, and Eaton fires.
San Diego County supervisors heard from dozens of North County residents who say they don't want to be the next community on that list.
People were getting out of their cars, running out to try to get away from the fire because they had one means of egress.
Victoria Gamble says that is what will happen if the proposed Harmony Grove Village South is approved. She lives in Elfin Forest, just south of the development.
It won't make us wrong, it just might make us dead.
The development was initially approved in 2018, but was held up in court. The issue was resolved, and the County Planning Commission unanimously recommended for approval in August.
We aren't against development. As a matter of fact, we're for development. We supported Harmony Grove Village, which is near us.
Harmony Grove resident Debbie O'Neill says she recognizes the need for more housing in the county, but it needs to be smart housing.
And it's a terrifying thing to be packing your animals and throwing things into your car, wondering what should I take while you're going out past flames and not sure if you're going to make it out.
Residents oppose this project because there's only one evacuation route. Developers say that's a baseless scare tactic because evacuation concerns have been disproved by law enforcement, fire, and evacuation experts.
Developer David Kovac submitted a pre-recorded statement to the board.
To the 11 government reviews that have occurred from 2018 to today, the essential conclusion of the fire protection plan has not changed since day one. Safe evacuation is not reliant on secondary access.
Residents say they would be disappointed if the board voted for approval. The state says the county needs to produce more than 170,000 homes by 2029. Harmony Grove Village South would add 453 homes. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
October is historically a busy month for wildfires in San Diego and across California. One resource that's revolutionized how people get information is the Watch Duty mobile app. KPBS reporter Scott Rod says it's not just residents in vulnerable areas using it. Firefighters are too.
An automated notification flashes on Liam Winstead's computer screen, alerting him to a potential grass fire.
It looks like it's near the mall here in Carlsbad, along the 78 on the Oceanside border.
Now the clock starts ticking. Winstead is a staff reporter with Watch Duty. He needs to confirm if this fire is real and whether it poses any danger. Winstead pulls up live lookout cameras in the area.
I see there might be one super far away on Pendleton. There's this San Marcos Peak camera. I don't see anything super obvious.
He checks out traffic maps from Caltrans to see if there's a slowdown along Highway 78. Then Winstead pulls up multiple radio streams. He usually listens to 2 feeds at once.
So this is the Oceanside Battalion Chief telling the dispatcher to notify that Carlsbad has a possible vegetation fire. This is radio traffic from local ham radio operators, which is also picked up on this feed.
If you're picturing Winstead in a command center surrounded by walls of monitors and high-tech equipment, think again. The recent college grad is working from the bedroom of his UTC apartment. He uses a small MacBook, a single computer monitor, and a radio. But from this unassuming setup, Winstead carries tremendous responsibility. He confirms the Carlsbad fire is real and poses a danger to nearby residents.
It looks like we are going to upgrade the fire, so now everyone will get a notification.
Winstead sent the notification to Watch Duty's San Diego County subscribers. The alert lit up more than 500,000 phones. Watch Duty has only been around since 2021, but it's widely considered the app to use when you need fast, reliable updates on a wildfire.
If I've seen anything have the single greatest impact on engaging the public, this is the tool that's done it.
Ken Pimlott is the former chief of CAL FIRE, the state's fire prevention and response agency. He retired in 2018 after more than 30 years in firefighting.
WatchDuty has really found a niche that honestly needed to be filled as the fire problem continues to grow and across the western United States, but certainly here in California. People are hungry for information.
WatchDuty collects updates about wildfires and evacuations from a number of agencies and then funnels that information into an easy-to-use app. Paid staff reporters and an army of volunteer contributors monitor radio traffic to provide real-time updates. Before WatchDuty, you'd have to comb through a bunch of standalone websites, apps, and social media pages to glean that information.
We're trying to synthesize all the stuff that's going on, especially during the initial attack when a fire is first developing.
David Merritt is the co-founder and CTO of WatchDuty.
We're trying to make it relevant, not too much, not too often, but give people enough information to start making decisions on their own.
Merritt emphasizes that WatchDuty reports on updates and orders from official sources. It does not, for example, issue evacuation notices on its own. The app now covers 22 states and has 17 million users. That includes many firefighters and emergency responders.
It was a big surprise that the information gap also existed on the professional side. With mutual aid, with different firefighting agencies working together, there isn't a common operating platform for that.
WatchDuty offers multiple paid membership tiers, including one geared towards professionals. The basic version of the app, with the most essential information, remains free. Volunteer contributors played a huge role in allowing WatchDuty to scale up. Some are retired firefighters and dispatchers, others are fire tracking enthusiasts. Winstead, the San Diego-based staff reporter, started monitoring and posting about wildfires on social media in high school. He was a student at UC San Diego when he joined WatchDuty as a volunteer.
I was kind of all in. I was probably putting in like 10, 20 hours a week in college. And then when summer came, that kind of became like, instead of having an internship, I volunteered with WatchDuty.
He graduated with a degree in real estate development, but decided to stick with WatchDuty when they called offering him a job. While Winstead reports on fires across WatchDuty's entire coverage area, he specializes in the San Diego region.
Knowing where a fire is going to spread, knowing which communities are going to be impacted, you really can't understand without local knowledge.
Sometimes it brings him a little too close to the action, like in June when a fire broke out near his parents' home where he was staying at the time.
I went outside, and pretty soon after I started listening, the smoke kind of started billowing towards me. Ash started falling on my computer, on me.
Winstead evacuated out of an abundance of caution. He finished reporting on the fire from a nearby Starbucks as CAL FIRE planes passed overhead. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.
We're now several days into the latest federal government shutdown. San Diego is home to hundreds of thousands of active duty and retired military who are closely watching what politicians do in the days ahead. That's because their actions or lack of action could affect paychecks and benefits. KPBS reporter John Carroll takes a look.
San Diego is home to more than 110,000 active duty service members. That's in addition to many military family members and more than 240,000 veterans. So a government shutdown is a big deal to a lot of locals.
We know it's already way too hard for our service members and their families to make ends meet in San Diego.
Representative Sarah Jacobs serves on the House Armed Services Committee. She says even without a government shutdown, life is tough for a lot of military families in San Diego.
45,000 members of military families and veterans visit the food bank every month before a shutdown.
Jacobs was joined on a Zoom news conference by two other Democratic members of the San Diego delegation, Representatives Scott Peters and Mike Levin. So what could happen to military salaries should the shutdown happen? First off, active duty troops, including reserve personnel on federal active duty, would be required to continue to report for duty. but their paychecks would stop until a new funding deal is reached. They would receive back pay after a shutdown ends. District 49 Representative Mike Levin is one of just a handful of Democratic co-sponsors of the Pay Our Troops Act of 2026, which would continue appropriations for the military in the event of a government shutdown. But, of course, if Congress isn't in session due to a shutdown, the bill can't be voted on.
We absolutely want to make sure that they get the pay that they've earned. We want to make sure that they're able to live comfortably, and we're working very hard on housing and on child care.
Unlike the Defense Department, most Veterans Affairs offices are funded a year in advance, so benefits processing, medical centers, and other support services are expected to continue operating. All three representatives made it clear that they're still in Washington, ready to work on a deal, while they said most of their Republican colleagues are not. The Senate is still in session. Members of the military and other government workers will be paid tomorrow. That money was already in the pipeline. But beyond that lies uncertainty about what comes next and when. John Carroll, KPBS News.
A man who worked with the U.S. in Afghanistan and was detained by ICE this summer is now free. KPBS military and veterans reporter Andrew Dyer has more from him and his supporters.
Saeed Naser is enjoying lunch at a lakeside Afghan restaurant. Last week, a federal judge ruled his arrest this summer outside a San Diego courtroom violated his due process rights. He was released from detention last Friday.
I can say that freedom is the most beautiful feel in everything.
At a news conference today, he said his ordeal hasn't shaken his faith in the United States.
I still believe America. I do not feel betrayed. I feel hopeful.
Naser worked with the U.S. military in Afghanistan as an interpreter and a contractor. He came to the U.S. last year legally via the CBP-1 app. He was granted humanitarian parole. At a court hearing in San Diego in June, the government moved to dismiss his asylum case and deport him. ICE agents were waiting outside the courtroom.
I work U.S. military back in my home country, Afghanistan. See, this is my country.
After that video went viral, military veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, Veterans of America, and Afghan EVAC launched a campaign to enlist veterans to attend court with Afghan allies. They called it Battle Buddies. Sean Van Diver is the co-founder and president of Afghan EVAC.
You see a couple of our Battle Buddies standing in the background here today. Battle Buddies has grown to over 1,000 veterans across the country.
Today, he's with friends, families, and supporters celebrating his freedom. Next, he says he's going to look for a new place to live and a new job. He'll start rebuilding his life while he awaits a decision on his asylum case. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
A sharp rise in immigration arrests is shaking Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in San Diego. Katie Hyson spoke with leaders who say they're breaking the silence.
Community members filled a labor union meeting hall last night in Kearny Mesa. Many more joined over Zoom from the safety of their homes. The AAPI Democratic Club of San Diego and allies gathered to share their experiences of immigration enforcement with local leaders.
If you were a Vietnamese, you were on a 50-hour flight, shackled hands and feet. People aren't going into shops. People aren't going into the businesses. People are scared.
There is so much suffering in silence that our community is experiencing right now.
There were more local arrests of AAPI people in 1 month this summer than all of last year. That's according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement records. And the community is feeling it.
People who don't have or who've been here for 40, 50 years, who for the first time are afraid that if they go to the store, something could happen, they get disappeared.
Indranil Banerjee is the club's president. He's hearing from family and friends that they're not going out as much. Even people with legal status are scared to go to church, school, and the grocery store. When they do, they bring their passports. John Piculdo Koenigshofer is the club's vice president and a recent graduate of UCSD. He says international students are afraid to organize.
It's making 20-year-olds, teenagers, afraid to get involved because they don't know if they're going to be punished by the full weight of the federal government.
In many ways, these experiences are universal to immigrant communities of color right now. But Koenigshofer says AAPI people are underrepresented in conversations about immigration enforcement.
there's this culture among Asian Americans that we should just go along to get along, right? And two, that we don't really speak up when we're being treated the wrong way. And there are all sorts of reasons that come into that. A lot of them are cultural. A lot of it has to do with this idea of the model minority myth, in where Asian Americans are kind of placed in their own separate category away from other communities of color. But in the way that we're being treated like every single other community of color out there. So that model minority myth is just that. It's a myth, and that's something that we need to push back on, and it starts by speaking out and standing up for ourselves.
They hope speaking out will encourage bolder action from local leadership. ICE didn't immediately respond to KPBS's questions. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
Sign up for our newsletters to get a list of our most popular stories. Here are some from this week. Experts call for immediate cuts to water use from the Colorado River. A light plane makes a safe emergency landing on I-15 in Tierra Santa. And an East County community is disappointed after President Trump revokes a road safety grant deemed hostile to cars. Here is that story from Andrew Bowen.
So Campo Road at one point in time used to be the main road from San Diego to Campo.
I'm walking with Lisa Stewart on Campo Road. She's the president of the Casa de Oro Alliance, a nonprofit that advocates for the neighborhood. Campo Road is dotted with strip malls and drive-thrus. It's busy, fast, even chaotic. The road is wide, with 5 lanes, but the sidewalks are narrow and interrupted with dozens of driveways.
So a pedestrian is constantly looking behind them to see who's coming, looking in front to see who's going to turn, looking to the right or to the left to see who sees them or doesn't see them. Because a lot of time the cars are trying to see the traffic and they're not really paying attention to pedestrians.
Last year, San Diego County won a grant of $1.2 million to implement a road diet. For one block, they would reduce the lanes to 1 in each direction, add a median, bike lanes, and a temporary roundabout. The goal, create some order out of the chaos and slow traffic to a safer speed. The money came from the Safe Streets for All program, created by the Biden infrastructure law. But last month, the Trump administration sent the county a letter revoking the funds. The reason? The project was, quote, hostile to motor vehicles.
Yeah, disappointed, I think is the politest thing that I can say.
Stewart says what's hostile to cars is the status quo.
That we could have learned a lot and proven that roundabouts and traffic calming actually does help make it safer for not only pedestrians, but for all drivers. Because the accidents that have taken place in Casadero have been car accidents.
Really, this is just a brand new front for the whole culture war around road safety.
Corrigan Salerno is policy manager at Transportation for America, a think tank based in D.C. The Trump administration has revoked hundreds of road safety grants, saying its priority is widening roads to make room for more cars. But Salerno says wider roads lead to faster driving.
And it's very well documented both in research and also by basic physics. The faster a car goes, when it hits somebody or something, the more energy is exchanged and the more likely people are to be killed or injured. So when we decide that widening a roadway is a safety improvement, we're effectively saying that speed is safe. And speed can be useful, but you can't always have speed, especially when it's coming at the expense of people's safety.
KPBS reached out to the U.S. Department of Transportation for comment, but did not receive a response. The county says it's still committed to finding alternative funding sources for road safety improvements. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Barrio Logan residents have been complaining about a recycling company in their neighborhood for at least 6 years. KPBS environment reporter Tammy Murga says the city of San Diego is now suing the company.
Loud pounding from dismantling cars and construction work. Rumbling vibrations from trucks starting early in the morning. Diesel trucks idling throughout the day near homes.
And the slamming, like the compacting of the bigger pieces of scrap metal in the cars, we've heard it was very disruptive especially when folks were working from home and things like that.
Those are some of the complaints Barrio Logan residents have had against their neighbor SA Recycling, going back to at least 2019. Julie Corrales has advocated for separating industry from homes in Barrio Logan.
It definitely affected their quality of life.
The scrap metal recycling company is on the corner of Main and 32nd Streets. It sits across the street from multiple single-family homes and apartments. The San Diego City Attorney's Office is suing SA Recycling for violating permitting laws and causing a public nuisance.
So that's encouraging because a lot of times it felt like this was all falling on deaf ears at the city.
The lawsuit says the company does not have the permits to dismantle cars near residential neighborhoods. It also alleges the company is illegally running a large-scale recycling facility. SA Recycling said in a statement, in part, quote, "We are confident the facts will show that our operations are permitted and not a nuisance." City zoning investigators say they confirmed the unpermitted operations after several inspections since 2019. Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
Tammy Murga was part of a discussion with local environment reporters on a recent episode of KPBS Roundtable. You can find the show on all major podcast platforms. New episodes post every Friday. After kicking off their inaugural season, San Diego FC is ready to begin the next chapter of soccer in our cross-border region. Jacob Ayers says the club has opened a free youth academy for elite soccer players.
San Diego FC's Right to Dream Academy is officially open, and they have their first youth club in place who will take advantage of the facilities in El Cajon on the Sycuan Reservation. Thousands of young boys from San Diego and Tijuana tried out for the new program.
It's been like one of the best experiences I had, if not the best. I just don't want to leave. I don't want to leave to my parents' house when we go.
11-year-old Nicolas Bolivar made the team. He was there with his family, who are originally from Guadalajara, Mexico, but moved to Chula Vista about 5 years ago. His dad says they're proud of what their son has achieved and are impressed by the professionalism of the team and academy.
Estamos muy orgullosos de lo que él ha logrado, de la oportunidad que se ganó estar aquí y cada vez más sorprendidos de las instalaciones, de lo profesional que es todo el equipo aquí de Right to Dream y San Diego FC con él.
The Right to Dream Academy is no ordinary youth soccer program. It's a fully funded residential school and football program for young players. Here, those players will live and go to school on site and train alongside the pros from the Major League Soccer team.
Well, we see them almost every day eating in the cafeteria. So we just see all of my teammates, how professional they are, and we just try to copy them so we can be professional like them.
The MLS says it's the first of its kind program in the league. 12-year-old Thiago Terrazas also made the team. He's from Tijuana and is learning English at the academy. He says living and playing alongside his idols, like SDFC's Mexican star Chucky Lozano, is powerful.
It means a lot because he has a lot of history and he was like, for me, the best player here in San Diego.
Because it's free and tied to a local pro team, the academy offers a pipeline that young players in the region never had before.
I hope it leads to me being professional in a few years and be one of the greatest.
There are plans to expand the academy in future years to additional age groups and girls teams. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
Finding the right sport for your child isn't easy. From coaching styles to concerns about injuries, there is a lot to think about. Join Mikey Damron and his son Dorian as they tackle the world of youth sports. They ask the tough questions and search for the right fit together. Here's a first look at Game Time Decision, a new series from KPBS.
I don't know where I would be without youth sports. They provided the foundation for my childhood and helped me become the man I am today. Now I'm the father of a young boy who just started playing sports, and the landscape of youth sports is a lot different from when I grew up. There are more opportunities and more awareness about the risks, but also more pressure and more cost.
Most people think it's just the game. It's not the game. It's the lessons. It's the things that correlate directly to life. that sports can provide.
I found out pretty quickly that there was a lot to learn. So I spoke to doctors, coaches, and other experts about the new realities of youth sports and how parents can best properly prepare their kids and themselves for experiences that could have lifelong impacts. I also learned how coaching has changed over the years.
It was the Wild West. Coaches basically could do as much as they could handle. We did 2-a-days every day, and Monday was a 3-a-day.
Now we know so much more about the risk and how to minimize them.
I want the kids to be physically active, right? And I think there's some element of kind of balancing the risks and benefits, because what I don't want them to do is sit at home playing video games, get diabetes, end up with heart disease, and have much worse problems than a bad knee.
There's going to be contact for sure, and different levels as you progress through, we'll have more contact and harder contact actually, and so that's something to prepare our kids for.
I learned that disparities still exist.
The lack of quality coaches a lot of these organizations have. And I don't blame necessarily the organizations for having a lack of quality coaches, because a lot of these organizations don't have the funding to have quality coaches with quality training.
Some parents think, well, if I sign my kids up for a sport when they're 6, then it's going to be super intense and they're going to lose their childhood. Try to make it fun. To help kids learn at an early age that sports, physical activity is something to look forward to, expose them to lots of different sports. Like, try something one season. If they like it, great. If not, then try something else.
Although much has changed since I was a kid, the spirit of youth sports is still strong as ever. As it should be, everybody's youth sports journey is a little bit different, but there's still so much we can learn from each other. So join Dorian and myself as we set out on our own youth sports adventure and make our own game time decision.
Very exciting, and that story was produced by KPBS lead video journalist Mikey Damron. The first 2 episodes of Game Time Decision are available for streaming. You can watch at kpbs.org/gametime. We hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thank you for joining us.